Going to discuss about the soil. Okay, myself Maktumullah. Let's begin the class. Okay, first of all, soil is the natural resources. This is also one of the natural resources which we are using from millions years. From millions years we are using this soil. We are making the agriculture, we are constructing the buildings, we are constructing the industries, everything we are going to do by using the soil. We can say that if there is a no soil, there is a no life. So we have to protect the soil from the pollution. Why I am saying this sentence? Because if there is a soil, there is a agriculture. There is a agriculture, then we get the food as well as the oxygen. If there is a no soil, just forget about the agriculture. If there is a no agriculture, there is a no soil. So soil is a very most important natural resources, one of the natural resources of the earth that we are using from millions years, and we are polluting it from million years by using the chemical fertilizers, by constructing the industries, by constructing the urbanization, by preparing them as a real estate. So we have to take care about the soil. That's why I took this topic today here. Soil is also a natural resources. We can see here, soil is a mixture of rocks, minerals, dead and decaying plants and animals. We can say this is the definition of the soil. Soil is the mixture of rocks, minerals, dead and decaying plants and animals. Remember that soil is formed by the rocks, and the soil travel from one place to the another place with the help of a wind, with the help of a rainwater, which absorb the lot of the minerals from the earth. And second important thing is that we can say we see the lot of the dead and decaying plants and animals also decomposed in the soil. We see the lot of the animals are dying on the roads, dying in the forests. After few days, we observe that there is no dead animals present there. Where they went? They all are decomposed by the bacteria and mixed with the soils. So we can say that soil is the mixture of rock, minerals, dead and decaying plants and animals. And soil plays a very important role here. Why? Because soil hold the roots of the plant. Because of this soil, we see the trees and plants are standing erect on the land. We see around us the lot of the plants are there, lots of the trees are there. Every plant stood erect on the land. Why? Because the soil hold the roots tightly, and the soil give the shelter for many insects and the small animals. Lot of the bacteria are there living in the soil. Lot of the insects are there, they are living in the soil. For example, take the earthworm. Some of the spiders are taking shelter in the soil, and small animals like the rabbit, even though ants, some animals are taking shelter in the soil. Some birds make their shelter in the soil. Like this, soil helps the living beings and the organism from long ago. We are using the soil for the many purposes. We make agriculture to produce the food grains or the vegetables or the food items or the fruits. We grow every grains, vegetables, fruits in the soil. But little bit we have to observe that when we travel from one place to the another place, we are going to observe that soil are having the different colors. When we travel from one place to the another place, we observe the color of the soil is different from our native places. Some are in dark brown color. Some soil we see it light brown color. We see some soil are red color. We see the soil in the black color. There are the different color in the soil. These soils look differ because they are made up of different types of rocks, and they are differ because the different type of minerals are mixed with them or mixed with the soil. Okay, this is the important thing. And how do soil is formed? From where the soil is forming here? The formation of a soil we see here. To form a soil, it take thousands of years. Thousands of years for the soil to form. There is a long process here we see. This is the long process of formation of the soil. Because it formed by the breaking of rocks into the tiny pieces by the sun heat, heavy rain and wind. This is known as the weathering of rocks, or we can say that is the breaking of rocks into the tiny particles. We see in the forest, we see in the mountains, there are the bigger and bigger rocks are there. We see the large rocks are there. These large rocks start breaking by heat, by heavy rain and the wind. This is nothing but the weathering of a rock. This is the main, what we call, this is the main point to form the soil here. Main process, we can say this is the main process of formation of a soil. The rock which absorb the heat from the sun, if the rain falls on them, they start to crack in between where there is a loose contact or the loose attraction force between the particles present in that rocks. The cracker, further filled with by the rainwater or by impression of the heat, they start to break up into the tiny particles and wind take with them from one place to the another place. We can say the climatic condition are important for it. It means for the weathering of a rock, the condition of the climate is a very important. The changing of a climate leads to the weathering of a rock. Rock are heated by the sun and cooled by the rain. We see in the summer season, the rock, the land are get heated by the sun's heat. When there is a cloud, when there is a rainy season, the rain falls on that heated rock, and the rock started to crack itself. This process repeated again and again for many years. Not a once or twice there is a weathering of a rock takes place. It takes a longer time, many years to form the soil. We can see the surface of the rock start to break down into the smaller pieces because the repeated heating and cooling process by the climate. These small pieces are carried out to the different places by the wind and the rainwater. We see when the rain start to fall, the water start to flow from one place to the another place. It will take the tiny particles of the rock from one place to the another place. Not only the tiny particles of the rocks travel with the rainwater and the wind. Lot of the minerals also travel from one place to the another place by rainwater and the wind. And they mixed with organic matters. Minerals is nothing but the organic matter here. And they mix with the dead and decaying animals and the plants also. Here, while the small particles traveling from one place to the another place, the particles start to rub with each other and again become smaller and smaller particles. This is the process of formation of the soil here. To form the soil, it takes the several years. We can say that the thousands of years required to form the soil. And today we are polluting the soil without any intention, just to fulfill our needs, just to spend our life in an easy way. We are polluting the soil and we are destroying the forest, and we are the main reasons to soil erosion. Today we see in the cities, just we are vanishing the agriculture land and we are developing the industries, we are developing the civilization, we are developing some other needs there. Just think about the formation of the soil, which takes the thousands of years to form the soil. We are just destroying it in a few minutes or in a few hours. We have to protect the soil. Why? Because if there is a soil, we can able to make the agriculture. If we make the agriculture, we get the fresh oxygen. And we get food also. If there is no land, if there is no soil, there is no agriculture, and just forget about the oxygen. If there is no agriculture, if there is no forest, if there is no soil, there is nothing else. Everything will be destroyed. So today is the time to protect our soil and to take the measures to protect the soil. This is how the soil is formed by many years with the process of weathering of a rock and on the impact of the climatic condition like heat, rain and wind. If we come to the constituent of the soil, or the component of the soil, what are the constituents of the soil here? Just there is the soil varies from place to the place. It means the soil is different from one place to the another place. In some place we see the black soil, in some place we see the brown soil, in some places we see the light or the dark brown soil. The different type of soil depend upon the rocks from which they formed. It is depend upon the rock by which they are formed, and it is depend upon the minerals which it contain. Let us see the constituent of the soil. First one is the sand particles. Second one is the clay. And third one is the coarser particle of the gravel and stone. These are the small stones present in the soil. Next one is the moisture. Next one is the humus. And the last constituent of the soil is the saline and organic substances. These are the 6 constituents of the soil. These are the 6 components of the soil. The soil consists of these 6 points or 6 type of the constituents. Sand particles, clays, gravel, stone, moisture, humus, saline and the organic substances are the constituent of the soil. If you move further, we see the layer of the soils. There are the different layer of the soils. First one is the topsoil, which we see that with our naked eyes. Second layer is the subsoil. And third layer is the bedrock. There is another layer called as the paternal soil, or the paternal space, we can say that. Just we have to remember these points. One is the topsoil, one is the subsoil, another one is the bedrock. These are the 3 layers of soil. Let us study one by one here. Okay. Let us see here. First one, the topsoil. Topsoil, it is the uppermost layer containing the loose soil. Where we walk on the land now, where we see the loosened soil, that is the uppermost layer of the soil. And its depth varies between 2 to 8 inches. If we go deeper, it having the varies between. It means it lies between 2 to 8 inches. This is the uppermost layer of the soil. And third point is that it contains humus. It is humus. What is the humus? Humus is the made up of rotting dead plants and animals. It means humus is the substances present in the uppermost layer of the soil, which is formed by dead plants and animals. Where the plants grow, it means in the uppermost layer the plants grow. This is the first layer of the soil that we called top soil. Remember that humus is the very important substances for the growth of plants. It provides lot of the minerals, lot of the nutrients to the plants. And second layer is known as the subsoil. It lies between the top layer. In picture we can see first there is the topsoil and the second layer is the subsoil. Subsoil lies lies below the topsoil. It is a closely packed layer of soil. It means the particle of the soil are attached to each other very compactly, very tightly in subsoil layer. It contains some rock particles. It means subsoil or the layer of a subsoil contains some rock particles. And next point is that it is harder than the topsoil. We can take the soil in our hand like this from the topsoil, top layer. But in subsoil or in the subsoil layer, their rock is hard. And the last layer of the soil is the red rock. We call it the bedrock. Sorry, that is the bedrock. It is the bottom layer of the soil and lies hundred of meters below the earth surface. Means this is the last layer of the soil. It lies very below. Means lies 100 meters, 100 of meters below the earth surface. Think this is the earth surface. This is the earth surface. This is the top soil. This is the subsoil. And what you see, these two fingers that are known as the bedrocks. It means this is deeper in the earth crust. Near hundreds of the meters, if we digged, we reach the bedrock. This is the hardest and the solid rock layer. It is also known as the solid rock layer. Why? Because we see the stones or the rocks in the bedrock layer. There are the three layers of the soil, that are the top soil, subsoil and the bedrock soil. These are the layer of the soil. If we move further, the types of the soil, there are the different type of the soil. Just we discussed a few minutes back that there are the different color of the soils and there are the different types of soils also. Different type of soils we found at different places. If we go to the Bijapur, we see there is the different color of the soil. If we go to some Maharashtra's area, we see the different color of soil. Because the color of the soil depends on the minerals present in the rock. This is the point what I want to tell you, that the color of the soil depend on the minerals present in the rocks. It means what type of minerals are there in the rocks. According to the minerals, the color of the soil is dependent. There are the four main kinds of the soil. If we make the category of the soil, types of the soil, there are the main four kind of the soil. In the first type, we are going to see the gravel soil. The soil contain small, big pieces of rocks. It does not hold water. It holds a lot of air. We can see in this picture this gravel soil which contains the pieces of rocks, or we can see the cubes of the rocks, we can say here. It not hold the water. If you pour the water on this gravel soil, the water start to flow from there. It does not hold the water and it hold the lot of air. Why? Because there is a lot of the space between these rock particles. So it hold the lot of air instead of holding the lot of water. Okay. Second one is the sandy soil. You are very familiar to this. Sandy soil has smaller particles than those of gravels. If we compare the particles of the sandy soil to the gravel, the sandy soil particles are very smaller than the gravel particles or the gravel stone particles. In this soil, the particles are loosely packed. If you will take the sand in your hand, it start to flow down. It means these particles are very loosely packed with each other. There is the little bit, only the small force of attraction is present in between the particles, loosely packed. It hold a lot of air and little water. If you take a walk around the edge of the rivers, for the Bhima river or the Krishna river, you see the sandy soil, or the sandy soil means the soil which we use to construct the buildings, that is known as the sandy soil. If you want to get the clear image about the sandy soil, just imagine the sand of Rajasthan. Just imagine the soil of a desert which is present in Rajasthan. That is the totally sandy soil. The sandy soil hold a lot of the air but a little amount of water. We see the some plants grow in the Rajasthan desert area, that is the cactus. It means this soil hold a little amount of the water. It is the grey and brown in color. The color of a sandy soil is the grey and brown in color. If you move towards Rajasthan, you see the brown color sandy soil. If you come to our areas, it means the Karnataka areas and is the lower area, southern side, you see the grey color of a sandy soil. Here we can see go fact is there. Thorny bushes and cactus grow in sand. Just I told you that the some plants grow in the sandy soil, that are nothing but cactus we see in the desert area. Why? Because this plant doesn't need lot of the water. So sandy soil is the soil with smaller particles than those of gravels. These particles are loosely packed and it hold little bit water and lot of air. We see the two type of sandy soil. The one is the grey sandy soil, another one is the brown color sandy soil, and it is rich in organic matter. This sandy soil is very rich in organic matter. If we see the next sign, that is the clay soil. Clay soil. Clay soil is a very fine grained soil. It means it's a very smooth particles are there in this soil. Very smooth particle. It is the sticky and hence there is a very little air space between the particles. It means sticky means we can say it is near about 70% of wet soil. The particles in the clay soil are attached very closely with each other and it hold a lot of the water and little amount of the air. We compare to the sandy and the gravel soil, the clay soil hold a lot of water and little amount of soil, and it is used for making the pots and the toys. Just imagine the water pots. Water pots are made by the clay soil. We can see the picture of the clay soil here below. This is the picture of a clay soil. This soil is used to make the pots and the toys. We use the toys to decorate our homes, our houses, by like the dolls, some other animals toys which are made by the clay soil. If we see the loamy soil is there, loamy soil contains both sand and clay particles. It is the combination of a sandy soil and a clay soil that is known as the loamy soil. Loamy soil. It is the combination of a sand and clay particles. It can hold enough air and water. Why? Because this is the very perfect soil for growing the plants. Which plants? Loamy soil is the very perfect soil to grow the plants and to make the agriculture, where we can develop our gardens, where we can make the farmland. Farmland means agriculture land. Why? Because this soil hold the enough amount of oxygen and or air and enough amount of water, which is very necessary for the growth of plants. So this soil is the very perfect, very perfect to grow the plants, to make the gardens or to make the agriculture. I hope you people are getting my point here. Next one is the what are the uses of soil? Let us discuss about these points. Okay. First point. The plant take minerals and water from the soil to grow. Just I told that this is soil is the very important natural resources for us. Why? Because the plants get a lot of the minerals and water. It means the plant absorb the lot of the minerals and the water from the soil to grow up. And second use is it is used for making the bricks that are used in the construction of a building. You know about the bricks, how the bricks will prepare it. By using the soil, bricks prepare, and the bricks is used to construct the buildings. And third use is minerals are found in the rock layer of this soil. Lot of the minerals like a diamond, we can say, minerals like the carbon, coal, these all materials or the substances we get from bedrock layer of this soil. This is the very spacious layer of this soil. We get the uranium, we get the sulfur, we get the potassium, lot of the minerals we get from the bedrock layer of the soil. And next use is this clayey soil is used for making the pots, where we fill the water and keep it in our home. These all pots are prepared by the clayey soil, and the pot prepared by the soil is very good for health. In some we using these points only in the summer season, but these pots are very good for health. Many small animals make their home in soil. In picture we can see there rabbit are there, some other animals are there, some rats are there, some snakes are there, which prepare their homes or the shelters in the earth or in the soil, we can say. These all are the animals take shelter in the soil. Okay. Thank you very much for listening my class, and please subscribe, like, share and comment and invite your friends to this channel. I hope people you are enjoying my classes. If there is any queries, you can ask me in comment box. Okay.